Good morning, beautiful people of planet Earth. It is the 10th of September 2024 and the time is 9:37 a.m. Welcome to Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Looking a bit haggard on it, although I've had 9 hours sleep according to my sleep machine. My CPAP machine. So I didn't have many hours of sleep the night before, so I guess I'm playing catch up, as I do. Nothing unusual in that. It's a glorious day outside, but cloudy. It looks like we might get some showers or rain, and that too is quite wonderful for the garden. And Charlie's been outside, but I brought her in. She's eating, and we brought her, she's had a bath, so that's why she's looking all funny and straggly and vulnerable and wet, my little birdie. So yes, so it's Tuesday today, is it? Let me just check. I think it's Tuesday. It will be Tuesday because I went to get my jewellery yesterday. Yes, it's Tuesday today. So yes, I got all my jewellery back, and I've decided to wear my favourite ones and put the rest away in storage, or they'll ultimately be given as gifts, I think. All that work I did for the last 4 years kind of wasted, but I'm a bit depressed about it, but never mind. It is, it's one of those things. Life goes on. And I'll have to find some other way to potentially co-create with the multiverse a prosperous outcome for myself. All together now. But anyway, you have to laugh. You kind of have to laugh. So I'll carry on with today's readings, memories of the 10th of September 2023. Where are you going, Miss Charlie? You're all over that laptop screen. Being very naughty. Yes, you are. She wants a scratch now. She wants a scratch. Scratches are very important if you're a bird. You want them when you want them, and the rest of the time you don't want anything to do with the mama. But when you want to scratch, it has to happen right now. Okay, Charlie, we're making a video. I brought you in to help me make the video. Yes, because you're my muse. Well, maybe she is, after all. Muses can come in all forms. Today's title is There is no textbook for sanity. And the photo is of a ring I made on this day. What year was that? Let me just scroll back. My laptop's doing weird epic things again. 2022, so 2 years ago, I wrote another ring made. Boy, am I exhausted. But anyway, I wear it quite often. I've worn it a few times to the Brooklyn Standard, and I wear it quite often. Made out of a pickle fork, and I've got a red oxide tiger eye bead in it, a bit rather large bead. And yes, anyway, I feel dizzy and kind of distressed thinking that I failed again at selling, but never mind. I'm a creator, obviously, not a seller, but it's okay. I don't know why I keep banging on about it. It's just another mild disappointment. It's not the end of the world as we know it. It's not like I have to rely on it for an income to put food on my table, pay my rent, so I'm okay. I'm just distraught because I wanted to get myself into a pathway where I'm financially independent, have my own business again, hopefully a solvent business, so I could invite a loving partner into my life, because I'm not, you know, no longer a bum existing on a disability pension, being shucked off because of being a failure or a welfare recipient, because it puts people off. It does. They look at you and they think you're a loser and they want nothing to do with you. And so I guess that's what I'm really upset about. Not so much that the jewellery didn't sell, but that it means that I can't get out of my hell loop, my poverty trap, which means that I'm not allowed love or a life or a partner or anything really. It's kind of it's a zombie existence. It's a living death. You can't get up and out of it, no matter how hard you try. And I'm distressed. I'm really fucking distressed, and it's kind of silly because, you know, there might be a person out there, a loving man who, you know, is self-sustainable enough that he doesn't need a woman with money and doesn't care and just sees me and loves me anyway. But that's a fantasy, people. Let's be real here. It's a fantasy. It's not probably. The probability of it happening is very low. My psychiatrist tries to tell me otherwise, but I'm a realist. I'm realistic. Anyway, but having said that, I guess what I can do, what I've always done, is not give up and intrepidly keep making things according to my whims and the resources I have at the time. Keep making nice jewellery, even if it's just for my own joy and delight, and continue to develop my skills and keep writing my stories, keep making my videos, if for no other reason that it fills me up, makes me feel like I'm achieving things. And if someone's meant to be in my life, they'll come along and they have to overlook all those problems, my poverty, my despair. Oh, it's not going to happen. So let's just go. The story ends here. Ding, bing, shuck it off and just move on as if I don't care and it doesn't impact on my life, and just live in manic denial for the rest of my life, which my psychiatrist pointed out through the COVID era that I was very good at. In fact, he was a bit astonished at the level of my manic denial. However, my manic denial got me through those darkest of, most draconian, most evil times. So sometimes it's good to live with the pixies, just saying. Oh, please be kind to me, fairy and pixie realms, because you know I'm a strange human. I'm not like other humans. It's just what it is. Anyway, on we go in our quest for success and containment and happiness. Containment of a strange I said that word, containment. Yes, so I'm not extruding everywhere out into the multiverses with my fears and doubts and my anxieties, and so I can be hyper-focused and build a life for myself. And that kind of thing happens one day at a time, maybe 1 century at a time. Since I haven't made it in 59 years, it's a bit frightening, people of Earth. Anyway, we carry on. September 10th, 2023. Today's gifts from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Gratitude to the gods, Fae, angels, and the Holy One, which is really, all of those are mere manifestations of the Holy One, including you and I. Although why the Holy One precludes me from true love and prosperity and success, I'm not completely certain. I mean, well, It is what it is. Not going to fight it anymore. Fighting it gets me nowhere but death spiralling into the abyss, and then the Holy One has to drag me out of it by my hair, kicking and screaming, and then he throws me back into this life again, and on it goes, and on it goes, and up and down we go, and an ever spiralling ride. And frankly, at this age and stage of life, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted doing those shamanic fucking journeys into hell and back and in and out and up and down and round and round. Anyway, Rosh Hashanah is coming on the 15th to 17th of September 2023. This year it's falling on the 2nd to the 4th of October. I told you it was coming a month late, didn't I? So I have to get busy and get myself some Shabbat candles so I can at least light the candles in honour of the new year, and maybe find some kosher wine somewhere. That'll be the only observation of that, very deeply, deeply spiritual, powerful day, since I'm without a congregation and I'm not inclined to crawl with my tail between my legs back to the one that abused me for 30 years. So, meh. So, I guess Mama T will do what she always does. Keep her God and her faith locked away in her heart, and drink her Jack Daniels and dance wildly as her sole expression of her religiosity or non-religiosity, as the case may be. Yes. Arriba, arriba, underlay, underlay. Maybe I should move to Mexico since I find myself speaking, crazy words in Spanish and getting haunted by spirits singing me very passionate, lustful songs in Spanish. Maybe I'm picking up on my Mexican friend Efren, because I did defriend him about 2 months ago. Maybe he's only just noticed, and so he's upset, because we were friends for many years. But maybe not. Haven't seen him in 24 years. What does it matter? Why do I hold on to people that don't give a fuck about me and in fact only ever push my buttons? Meh. Move on, Tanya. Be happy. It's not like we were ever in love or anything like that. There's some weird soul connection, some tweaking, and I don't know who it is. So it's kind of grinding my gears, actually. Or it's an ancestor of someone I know trying to latch onto me like a demonic imp and ride my body like a bus. Won't be having that either. That's not cricket. But anyway, strega mama. Yeah, all right, yeah. I'm right, see? Straight away. You question if it's someone like that and they straight away flare up. Strega mama. Well, that's Italian anyway, you idiot. You're not even in the right culture or language. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Someone's playing a cosmic prank on me and I'm not amused at all. Anyway, the truth will always come out in the end, babies. Always. So, Mama will just keep riding this bus, Gus, and keep licking the windows and waiting for... You have to laugh. Waiting for the numero uno, number one man to manifest, and he'll probably be a window licker too, and together we'll drool into eternity on each other. That would be weird. So no, we won't be doing that. No drooling. I don't want any droolers. Lascivious, lackluster, slack-jawed, evil, filthy, dirty, vapid men. Because I've had them in the past. Wasn't nice. They always look perfectly charming in the beginning. Very good at putting on an act. Anyway, here I write, wishing all my beloved Jewish friends and family a beautiful, bright, blessed, safe, love-filled, joyous, healthy, prosperous year. So in just under a month's time, I'll be wishing you that again for reals, because it'll really be Rosh Hashanah in October, 2nd to 4th. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know why. Why am I looking forward to a new year? Maybe it's time to turn a page. Yes, let's turn a page, babies. Let's turn a page. Here I write, much love from the Tanya. Getting all hot and bothered now. What have I got here? A picture of my flowers. My beautiful rose that died. Oh, I miss it so much. I really do. Look at it. It was exquisite. My Pierre de Ronsard and my lovely lavender flowers that are in bloom at the moment. Ah, with great beauty, even my despair and occasional bouts of depression dissipate into the joy and delight that is life, l'chaim, and art and beauty. I must get myself to that exhibition. I've not gone because I don't want to run into my daughter. But I guess I'll just go, and if I run into my daughter, I'll just nod politely and just keep walking, as if she was not manufactured within my own body and means nothing. Sometimes you just got to do that. Just act like everyone's a ghost. It's cruel and it's awful, and I don't like doing that, but if I have to, I have to. She ghosted me when I said I was dying, so there is that. Takes two to tango, does it not? Anyway, my bloodlines. Fucking evil people they are. It's another reason why the gods won't allow me to thrive or have love, because they know how toxic it can turn, how quickly you're divested of your wealth and you're back to the ground zero again. So they just leave me in a permanent state of ground zero, and I'm right unable to get up and out and over and through, but I've pushed through in the past. I've pushed and pushed and pushed and danced my wild dance. It's not so bad. I'm seen and heard and loved by people that are sweet and heartfelt and endearing, and the rest doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If you only have one person in your whole life that loves you, like my friend Lynn yesterday, and her daughter came to pick up her little granddaughter. And I had a wonderful afternoon. I was so distressed yesterday. You could probably tell by my video yesterday. Anyway, I went to pick up my jewellery, and Lynn came to meet me because she knew I'd be distressed. And then I went back to her place because she lives very close by. And I watched little Katie, Tracy's little daughter, who's the spitting image of her mother and highly intelligent, just like her mother. It's like watching a little miniature me. Oh, she's so sweet. And her grandfather, Peter, he was so happy. I watched his happiness and his joy and delight in his little granddaughter. I actually turned to Lynn and said, I wish I'd had grandchildren. It really is a cruel fate. And she nodded because she knows how I grieve over that too. But anyway, instead of having that little bit of envy and feeling of loss, I delighted in watching little Katie play with Peter. And they had these big wand things, bubble for creating bubbles. And Lynn said you buy the bubble mix in Kmart, and she said it's a very good quality one, makes great bubbles. And so I watched it. I might, my inner child delighted in it so much too. I thought, Miss Fife might even buy herself some of that bubble. I need it like a hole in the head, because I'm an old lady now, and it's a bit sad. It really is a bit sad. But I watched with great joy and delight little Katie running through a sea of these beautiful purple and mauve and blue and golden coloured bubbles that were created. They come out all these most exquisite colours. And Peter was laughing and smiling and creating like a magician, all these amazing bubbles. And the little one, I think she must be 5. I'm not sure how old she is. She's in grade 1. She's running and running and running and bursting all the wonderful bubbles. And I turned to Lynn. I said, Lynn, we should be filming this on my iPhone because this is a beautiful memory and we should preserve it. Because I normally, I'm always on my iPhone taking photos and making zany videos. And Lynn just nodded prosaically, and yet I didn't film it. And I wish I had now, because it was a gorgeous thing watching Peter playing with his little grandchild with the bubbles. And I also watched them play Monopoly and like a little kiddies version of Monopoly, which they had great fun with that too. And I just sat there and I thought, oh, well, I'm enjoying being part of a family and being the crazy old auntie that visits and then goes away and, just being immersed in it, I guess that's what I miss, having my own family and being immersed in that level of love and a loving family, which I never really fucking had, really ever, by the way. So when things get weird, I go to Lynn and I just sit with her and we talk and I watch her little, children and I take joy and delight in that. And then Tracy came to pick Katie up, and she's always so loving and affectionate and kind to me too. And she even said to her mother, or Lynn told me a few weeks ago, she said, Lynn said to me that both Danny and Tracy and Melissa, the eldest, who's currently on holiday in America, have all agreed. They said, don't worry, Mum, if you should die or anything happens to you, and Dad, they said, we'll make sure Tanya comes to the funeral and is included. And I just started to cry, because what they're kind of saying is that they'll keep an eye on me a bit. Whether they do or not, who knows? But I just thought that was a really sweet and kind thing to say, that they'll make sure I'm there and that I'm included and treated like part of the family, because I've been friends with them since I arrived in Brisbane in 1988, 36 years. So it's a long time. And then I even kind of felt sad because I thought my kids won't even come to my fucking funeral. And it's awful. It's just beyond awful. Or maybe they will. Crystal might, might come to my funeral when I eventually pop my clogs. But it's not all that likely, because they don't care. And and I feel angry and bitter about all the energy I poured into making sure my own mother had a gorgeous bloody funeral. Even the funeral director said, this is the best funeral I've ever seen. I said, yeah, it's easy for me because I hate that bitch. I'm just detached. She said, you planned it beautifully, Tanya. You should be a funeral director. Probably I should, right, with my morbidity and my shamanistic capabilities. But I said to her, no, I can't wallow in that death consciousness all the time, because I myself skirt my own death daily. It wouldn't be good. I'd spiral under. She nodded. But she said this was just such a sentimental, beautiful funeral. And I said, well, all funerals should be sentimental, You're celebrating the life of someone who was alive and had their own memories and sweetnesses. Even my evil mother had a few sweetnesses. I got to give her that, Anyway, life goes on, and on we go and on we go. Onwards and upwards, babies. I made these 3 today in preparation of going to the markets. And I've decided to keep, since I just got them back from being displayed in a shop, that one and that one. Decided to keep them. You know, what the fuck. I need so many rings like a hole in the head, but I didn't make them to keep, but they're lovely rings and I'll wear them in good health. Am I right? Yes, I will. In better and better health. And eventually life will pan out for me. I'm told it will happen when I'm 60, so this is just another bump in the road, another thing that didn't quite work out. But as I said to my friend Peter down the road, who's designing a off-road buggy, I said, you know, Colonel Sanders had many bankruptcies throughout all his life until he hit on the idea of making the secret recipe for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Became an overnight success. I said, so there you go. He was 80. 80. If that can happen at that late stage of life, it could happen for me, right? What good is money and success when you're 80, though, to be frank? Only have a few years to enjoy it. But anyway, you have to laugh. Whatever the gods decree, the gods decree. Just watching my neighbour is working on their roof, and he's a very industrious man. He's a good man, very good man. Always working, making his home beautiful for his wife, who's a sour-faced, dour fucking thing. But look, he must be happy with her because he's always busy and smiling and happy, and they have this lovely little boy who's got blazing red hair. I really admire him. I might tell him one day, but then you have to be careful with men. If you tell them that too much, they get... I mean, he wouldn't get ideas like that I'm being lascivious, but he'd probably... Or he might. They're so weird. They're not friendly. He used to be a bit more friendlier, but she's horrible dame, honestly. See, even horrible dames get good husbands, and I don't. Oh, smallest violin. Delete, because you know what? I value my freedom too much too. But you know, he is a nice man. If I'm going to gossip about my neighbours, I can honestly say I have great admiration for that man. Always working, building a life for himself and his family, and you know, from what I can tell, I don't know what goes on in their private world, but a decent man, you know. They're out there, people of Earth. They're out there. I know some of you. My gorgeous ones, my babies, my darlings. Mama T is hellishly proud of you. Hellishly. Sometimes heavenly proud of you too, depending on whether I'm in my angelic mood or my demon mood, because you never know what you're going to get in Tanya's realm, but it is what it is. I was hellishly, heavenly proud of Peter yesterday, watching him play with little Katie, and the love and the joy. It's a great gift. It's a great gift, grandchildren. It's something I always planned on having, actually, not realising that my kids would either be infertile or would refuse to have children. What can you do? One doesn't bargain on that. But after all the evil of my family history on both sides, it's probably good the line stops with us anyway. It's enough inflicting sociopaths and narcissists and fucking assholes on the world. The world needs good people like my friends Lynn and Peter and their progeny. It's what the world needs. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. La 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 la. Anyway, enough of that morosity. I am happy for them, don't get me wrong. Would never cast the evil light. I'm happy for them. They've been good people to me too. So, 10th of September 2021, 3:39 a.m. So it's a big jump, and we missed out on 2022. Oh, well, it is what it is. Sometimes I don't write up my journals and it gets a bit lost in space sometimes. 3:39 a.m. I've woken up with the most intense sciatica pain in my left buttock. It was excruciating to get up to go to the loo. I'm so sick of varied and chronic pain. It's been endless. Yes, it has. Why is that not scrolling down? Dear Goddess. I will have to stay in bed tomorrow or rest as much as possible. I don't know how I hurt my sciatica, as I didn't do anything much yesterday. Ridiculous. I have a lot of burning nerve pain in my left foot yesterday too. So I suspect the nerve pain is connected indeed. My neck is sore and feels out of alignment. Too blech. I will summon my usual self-healing prowess and pray for an easy few days as I writhe in agony. Back to sleep I go. Do you think we should go back to sleep today, Charlie? She goes, no, Mama T. You was up wearing your beautiful frock again. I know. We should do something nice today, Charlie. My friend Louise Winton wrote, hope it eases up soon, Tanya. And I replied, thanks, Louise. It's really frustrating. You got to laugh. It's really frustrating how I could be feeling dexterous and climbing a tree on Monday, even with an unsettled tummy, reflux issues and car sickness, then by Friday knocked off my perch again. Do you think it had anything to do with climbing trees? But this too shall pass. Drying the coffee beans for the next 3 days, making my own homemade coffee from my coffee beans from my own tree, which I was very proud of. Matter of fact, I should make a coffee from that now, because that's 3 years old, that coffee. Probably should use it up. Anyway, it is what it is. Charlie. She's leaning against my arm having snuggles. I don't have grandchildren, but I have very snuggly birdies. What you doing? You say hello to the people? Show them how you snuggle against Mama's arm and nibble my hairs on my arm, and you're a very happy birdie lately. Very happy birdie lately. Yes, I love you. Right, now, my cousin Melissa Rose Kelly wrote, is it worth it? Just as easy to go to the supermarket or a deli, which she's quite right about that. So I wrote back, it's not worth it. It really isn't. But I had the tree and the berries, so decided to put them to good use. And then I wrote, such a lot of work. It will be deeply precious and valuable coffee because it's made by me by hand with all my energy and joy and delight and frustration in it, you know. Harvesting coffee cherries, there's a special word for them, but I couldn't remember what that word is. And dehusking them for drying the beans. Here we are. It was such a lot of work. Such a lot of work. But fun. Something I'd never done in my life before. I went through the COVID epoch learning new skills or doing things that I've never done before as kind of just stretching myself and challenging myself and growing myself. So yes, I've made homemade coffee now, and then I didn't even end up drinking and using it. It didn't taste bad. It was very, very mild. very mild. Because I think, you know, the real coffee, they're all blends, so they're blended with different, to get the stronger coffee flavours. But it doesn't matter. I'm happy with it. I made it. Nature made it. I contributed to it. And I'm happy with it. My friend Margaret Jacovat wrote, "Uber cool," and I replied, "A huge amount of work, lol." In the west, Venus and the moon, and in the east, another planet. I'm surrounded by awe and interplanetary love, sandwiched even, cosseted, cosseted by love and awe and the planets, as we are on a daily basis, right? But this time, we got to see them. We got to see them, people of Earth. It's very lovely. Very lovely indeed. Kind of hungry. I haven't had breakfast. What am I going to have for breakfast? I got to stop thinking about food. I don't need breakfast. I wasn't all that hungry this morning. It's like, don't have to have breakfast. And I had a lot to eat late last night. A lot of spring rolls I finished off. So what do I want breakfast for? It's nuts. Stop it, Tanya. What you really need is, never mind what else. Never mind what other appetites are wanting to be satiated right now. Just saying. Anyway, that's weird that kicked into my libido. It's been dead for years. I blame it on the young men in the club. I told them, I said, do not awaken Mama T's last long dead hormone. It will be danger, DANGER. And they just laughed at me because they were kids and they knew I was joking. I wasn't going to have sex with very young men. But they knew I was joking and we danced wildly and they were just so sweet to me. I suppose it's good for young men to realise that old ladies still have some kind of erotic sensibilities too. They'll go home and they'll look at their grandmothers and go, oh, but Jesus, oh. But yet they were so sweet with me, those two lads. I even told my friend Scott about it. I was like, they were just so mischievous and sweet, you know. Not allowed to activate the old lady hormones though, because the old lady hormone has been sleeping for 10 years. And I'm even scared what will happen when I activate it one day. I guess it keeps the less intrepid, less serious men at bay. And then see me all frotter away. Ooh, oh, and then like, oh, quick, I must run as fast as I can from that lustful wench. But I'm not really lustful, that's not the word. Just alive and happy and activated and hopeful. And you have to laugh. It is funny when you think about it. Anyway. 10th of September 2020. The housing plumber contractor is here. I asked them to test my gas line as my bill is way too high and to fix the stovetop. He is ordering a new gas oven and or stove as it has been repaired so many times and still not quite right. He is still checking the gas mains. I am happy about getting a new stove as cooking has been difficult with only 2 elements working for the past year. Drove me absolutely nuts, and I hate cooking at the best of times, so can you imagine how I would be like standing at the stove with nothing working? Pardon me. I'm still anxious about a possible gas leak, though we'll know shortly. And I don't know why that got repeated twice, or got repeated as a photo. Why is that? That's odd. Mama T, what were you thinking? Something probably wasn't working on vocal media, so I went in and put it in again thinking that it wasn't there, and now it's there twice. I'll have to fix that later. I can't stand incompetence, even my own. Although it probably wouldn't have been incompetence, it was just I was putting the information in again thinking it was missing. Yeah, that's what would have happened. Update. Meter needs replacing. No sign of leak, but it won't test as it has an internal blockage. An internal blockage in my gas main. What? So they are replacing it. I can't use the stove until they replace the meter. Halfway through cooking a wok full of food, for fuck's sake. But we'll finish cooking in the microwave, I guess. Honestly. They could have let me just finish the goddamn meal and then did it. Men. Guess time is money though. So anyway, and then I wrote no hot water either and made a really crazy looking emoji. Update. Gas company contractor just came. Checked the blockage, which was not really a blockage. It just needed to poke the valve hole thingy with a screwdriver. So they're idiots. They really were idiots. One of them was an idiot anyway. He tested the meter. I actually have good gas flow. So they ruined my dinner for nothing. Oh. But the setup is not considered safe enough, so he reconnected the gas and lit the pilot on the hot water. So I have hot water again. He says someone will come in about 2 weeks to move the meter. They never did, by the way. Oh, the irony. So the emergency gas release valve blows outside instead of under the house. But the meter is working well. I got a letter recently. They're coming to do gas works again, but at every house in our area. But I don't remember when they said they were coming, but they said it will involve concreting, and I thought, oh, that's all I need. More fucking drama around my house. I hate it when I have contractors here. But anyway, I guess if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. So just got to go with the flow, babies. Now he's up there gurneying his roof. He's got the best roof in the neighbourhood. His roof is not on fire. It's all under control, babies. A man who's got control over his roof and his foundations has got it all happening, babies. Oh, you have to laugh. But as I said, he is a very nice man. Never caused me any damage as far as I know. So that does not solve why my gas bill is so fucking high. But hey, a new stove might alleviate that problem. And my friend Nigel wrote, wow, slow leaking gas in the house might have made you sick from the oven. Yes, very likely. That's probably why all my pets kept dying. Although I blame that on the smart meter, actually. Anyway, on we go and on we go. 10th of September 2019. Oh, dear goddess. This is painful given I lost him last year, but anyway. Some days I realise I'm only staying alive for my dog. I brought him into my life to be an emotional assistance animal because I am lonely and my friends cannot always be there with me. I am too much of a burden. So I look at my dog tour. I used to call him my dog tour because after that dreadful surgery he was a better doctor than any of my doctors. My dog tour, who along with my cat Penny, who was a cat doctor, comforted me through the last 11 weeks after the surgery. They really did, those two animals. They were like little angels guarding me night and day. They really were amazing, both of them. And I think I cannot ever leave you. Your lifespan is so short, so I must grit my teeth and hold on. It's how much I was struggling after that surgery. Yes, my little baby, here we are 5 years later. And you're a very good birdie, aren't you? I wouldn't call you a doctor, though. She bites. But she's a very good birdie. It's been a rough week, but I've gotten through much more awful weeks, years, decades. Maybe my emotions are raw because now my body is almost healed. It has given permission for my emotions to vent and vent and vent in a silent, streaming, primal scream. Winky face. Was still pissed off about that guy Simon that came to drumming, telling me to primal scream. The nerve of it. The absolute nerve. What he was really wanting was my orgasmic screaming, which he was never going to get, the weirdo. My God, he was a weirdo too. Anyway, I write here, anyway, this too shall pass. And a young lady I knew from, I met at Ecstatic Dance actually, Chrissy James wrote, sending you much love, hun, kiss, kiss, which was sweet. Catherine Holdsworth, sending you so much love, Tanya, big warm hugs. Laura wrote, you are very much loved and cherished by your true friends. I can't express to you how much your friendship and support has meant to me, especially this past year, having to deal with the vicious and reprehensible behaviour of my loving family. Oh, dear goddess. She's like me, slammed with the ugly stick when it came to family, am I right? Cruel they were to her, absolutely cruel. Trust your furry friends. They love and comfort you because they see you as you truly are, a loving, compassionate soul full of love, light and hope. You have inspired me more than you will ever know. To you, Laura. Thank you for your kindness and sweetness to me over the years too. I'm very grateful for you and all the beautiful souls I have in my life. I am. Without you, life would be completely empty and untenable. Probably wouldn't be here, to be honest. There'd be no point in even holding out for love, life and love, light and hope. So, my friend Jennifer Weinstein wrote, you are not a burden, you are valued. You are an inspirational woman of valour. You are gutsy. You are a warrior woman with a huge heart and of immense intellect. Oh, bless. You are so many wonderful, beautiful things, but you are no burden, my dear. Sending a huge virtual hug. How gorgeous are they, my beautiful ones? I'm grateful that I preserved these little messages. I know it looks a bit narcissistic keeping this, but I need it. I need it on dark days to look at that, see that there are souls out in the world who love me no matter what, even if at times I'm dark and morose and in a weird fucking cosmic spiral with death herself. They pull me up by my hair. Here we go, psychedelic dreamer. One more day, sometimes one more minute. Can be that touch and go at times. So, Goddess bless you forever and ever and ever. L'adore, vador, my beautiful ones. Oh, I've got chills. I've got chills. means that the spirits know that I'm right. I'm right to bless them because they were worthy of those blessings. Beautiful souls who love me. I don't know why people love me because I'm such a schmuck, really. Can't even succeed or have a loving partner. Such a schmuck. But the times are changing, and I was prophesied many decades ago, 35 years ago even, almost 4 decades, that my life would be awesome and I would have a truly loving partner. So my life is actually awesome now. It's been awesome for the last 12 months, thanks to the Brooklyn Standard and Alter Egos and Ramjet, who've participated and created a safe space for me and allowed me to be my own version of awesomeness on my wild nights out. Am I right? And God has blessed you all too, my darlings. I know I can be a right royal pain in the ass at times, especially when I lose my ring. Won't be doing that again. But anyway, you've been so good to me. I want you to know, no matter what, how much I deeply value how good and sweet and kind and affectionate and blessed you have been to me. All of you. Mama T has spoken. "2019. He squeezed himself up on my pillows against the headboard. No room for Mama. Oh, bless. Here he is. I miss my little angel face. Here he is. What you doing, Mama? I'm trying to sleep in my bed, Beauregard. I'm right here with you, Mama. Don't worry. I've got your back. He still has to this day. Jared made me. I'll show you. I've showed you before. But my friend Jared, who's a brilliant artist and has a business now called, I'm trying to get the glare off it, Selfie Sorcerer on Instagram. He does pet photos, portraits of people. You can have all sorts of characters, whatever you fancy. Things from Lord of the Rings, fairy, elves, angels, voodoo gods, representations. He made that for me too. Papa Legba. You name it, he'll do it. It just needs a good front on, clear photo of your face. And anyway, he made this for me after Beauregard's death. I think it was a Christmas present, actually, of the bow dressed up as a Viking protecting Mama at the front door. There's no better spirit protector than a Viking dog protecting the front door, are we right? Yes, my little baby. Oh, I'll show you. He made a beautiful card of Charlie too. I have to actually put it up. I think I'll put it in a frame, put it up on the wall too. It's just gorgeous. I'll show you what he made for me. We're not friends at the moment. I'm really pissed off with him. But the love remains, darlings. The love remains. There we go. That's Charlie he did up. Oh, this is you, Charlie. You all blinged up, Charlie. She actually went, got a fright. Yes, this is you. You're all like You all ready to go to Rio de Janeiro for the Carnivale? Let's go, Charlie. Mama needs passion and romance and excitement in her life. Let's just fucking go. I love this one. I chose this one. Beautiful. And then I loved this one too. Isn't he exquisite? So yeah, support my friend's business if you like these. There's dragons too. He's a wonderful man. Just because I'm broigus with him at the moment doesn't mean he's not worthy of success and having his beautiful portraits selling, and he's worthy of everything. He's worthy of great love. So he's worthy of success. He's just been a bit of a shit to Mama T. And when Mama T gets angry, she gets angry, but it soon passes, like all storms. I'm just upset because I don't like being treated with contempt and disdain and ignored. I don't make a pest of myself. I don't ring constantly and stalk and harass. And so when people reject my phone calls and treat me like an animal, it's the end of a friendship. I won't be treated like that. I was treated like that by Dave Charles, really contemptuously and nasty. And I'm done. Too much damage has been done to me. I'm done. But anyway. But yes, I must frame that lovely portrait of you, Charlie. She says, but Mama, you got the real thing. You got the real thing, Mama. What's up? I'll tell you what's up. Mama is up. She hasn't been saying what's up for a long time. Well, I guess we all know who is the king of your castle, wrote Laura Martin. Indeed, Mr. Beauregard was my king. A dog was my king, because no human mortal is capable of it. King to my queen. Well, what can I say? Why am I fidgeting? Why are we fidgeting? Because I got upset thinking about the end of that long friendship. Shit. Anyway. Here I write, there is no room for any other male in his domain, although he tolerates socks and kinda adores Charlie Bird, although Charlie Bird turned out to be a girl. So there is that. Tenth of September 2018. Well, lol. Why is there such a huge jump? What year was that? No, it wasn't a huge jump at all. It was only the year before. All right. Oh, man, I'm all over the place today. I'm all over the shit show today. I've worked too hard on these videos and they're getting madder and madder. Or am I getting madder? Well, the dark demon that rode on that can just slough the fuck off, because Mama T is not mad. She's just a little bit angry right now, but she'll calm her farm as she does. Well, lol, my new year started not with a whimper but with a bang, fighting with trolls, morons and bigots on Facebook. That'll do it to you. Because I cannot stand oppression and the subversion of truth. No, I cannot. So if this new Jewish year is going to continue like this, better gird my loins. As a Jew, I fought one troll about circumcision practices, and as a witch, I fought another troll just now on Ban 1080, because any time a woman disagrees, we are branded as witches. It's true, you know. It really is true. Little do they know, I actually am a witch, the dumbasses. I even have a spirit constantly yelling in my ear, Strega, mama, Strega. But I'm not Italian. I'm a Strega, but I'm not Italian. So it's odd, really odd. Anyway, they can go back to whatever dimension they came from and stop nagging me, because here I write, Gods, I love it. So many dickheads and so little time for evil concurrent bullshit. But hear ye, hear ye. Fascism and Nazism is on the rise, yes it is. It has been growing exponentially since Trump slid his greasy-palmed, toupeed, disgusting ass into power. Yes, it has. It actually was on the rise before then, but he contributed to it with his malfeasances. And I labelled a hypocrite, which is a shoe that fits, as I am a composite of every filthy nightmare a woman can be. I am a survivor of paedophiles, one a concentration camp survivor, and my own German mother with her own sadistic, greedy tendencies, and then a survivor of my own salacious, vicious former Jewish community, which is probably why I'm a bit triggered lately, because Rosh Hashanah's coming and it's just too evil to even consider going to pray amongst them. It's awful what's happened to me. Truly awful. Has formed the mind, body and soul of a woman who takes no shit. Amen, sister, to that one. And if you must put shit on me, some people are perverted like that, I will always, always transmute it into spiritual gold. A him? Why not? She who has no money or love or luck. Well, sometimes I have luck. I've been lucky to be still alive, to see the beauty of this planet, to have the few rare and precious friends I do. That's my luck, indeed. Has higher realms of existence to play on. There is much work to do in the higher realms where truth is absolute only in the mind of God, and humans are expendable, capricious demigods on their own psychotic ego trip. Yes, we are. All of us. All of us, including me at times. Let's be real here. We're all guilty of that. Pretending we're more important than we actually are. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, it's laughable. It's why aliens fly past and just wave politely and back their way to the next dimension. Jesus. Well, not Jesus, but you know what I mean. But anyway, I write here, but I digress. Rocket ships with Tesla cars on them sent to Mars when people were starving. It's disgraceful, it's what it is. Dickhead. Life is a spiral of energy, whirling in orderly chaos in a benevolent universe, itself bumping and grinding against multiverses. So much dysfunction and perversion and discord in our world. But the wise ones take the unravelling weft and warp and cut away the snarls and tangles and create a fabric of time and space that cannot be rendered asunder by mere mortals. We all have a role to play in our cosmic, conscious, tribal diatribe to maintain our vibe and be creators of new life and new worlds on our own planet that nourish and protect all life, even the wormed ones with worm tongues and fake personae who lack the courage of their convictions or their moral decency. Indeed, I shall lay down my ire before I give myself a stroke. It's amazing I haven't had a stroke yet, by the way. I guess that's going to be the next journey if I'm not careful. But like cures like, and fire and fury and passion is what fuels me. Someone take me to Byron Bay so I can decompress from the stress of dealing with ignoble fools. By the gods, I should be there right now. What's the time? 10:43. 2-hour drive on my own, 2-hour drive back. Soon, soon, soon. Not today, but soon. I won't be denied my Byron Bay for much longer. Fuck it, I write. I will take myself. I don't need any psychic vampires to drain me. I had a lifetime of those. Ugh. Yes, indeed. Note to self. And well, that was lovely, not? And well-worn advice I just gave to a stranger on Facebook. Never ever let the bastards grind you or me down. Don't let them. As soon as you let them grind you down, you're a goner, babies. You give them even the slightest entry and a crack in your armour and you're gone. Fight with everything you have and everything you are, in your own gnosis, body, mind, spirit, body autonomy, heart, corazon, soul, neshama in Hebrew. Yes, my babies. One tiny, tiny crack and they worm their ways in and they destroy you utterly if you let them. So don't let them. No one has that right to steal your joy, your divine spark, your life force, your love. New life, new paradigm, beautiful day, sunshine in my hair, love in my heart. Wipe the blood from my eyes and breathe. I got this. Yes, Tanya. I'm glad you wrote this down. You needed to read that right now in the space-time continuum. Potent little reminders. You've got it all happening, baby girl. No matter what. Warrior goddess, chosen by the gods. Well, chosen anyway. Maybe not so much a goddess. Depends on my mood at the time. Oh, I'm thinking I might be a goddess on Friday night. That man is a perfectionist. He's now gurneying his, what do you call it? Solar panels. That's the word. Oh well. Here I wrote in 2018, I didn't write this. This means that while I went to the toilet and left my iPhone open, either Jared or Crystal would write smart ass or weird things on my phone, posted on my Facebook while I was, not there, to make me look stupid, because they think that's funny. Sometimes it's cute and funny. Sometimes it's bloody annoying. But anyway, I chose to look at it as being cute and funny because they wrote Bing Bang, Walla Walla Bing Bang. I think that was Jared, to be honest. So I laughed and I wrote back as a comment because they'd already done it to me. So you just have to go with the flow, babies. I wrote back, boom chicka wow wow. Then I wrote, nasty hobbits as friends who access my iPhone while I am indisposed need to be punished. Well, he was still my friend back then. And I don't punish my friends, long-term friends, when they abandon and reject me. I just, ding, let it go. Bye-bye. Sayonara, sweetheart. Sayonara. I think I'll go to the art gallery today while I'm in a mood. Maybe. He wrote back, witch doctor, ooh ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. And I wrote back, ugh. This is a song that does not end, ? You guys are evil. Thank God I see my therapist on Wednesday, lol. And he laughed and wrote back, Baby Shark Dance, the Baby Shark song. And then Chrissy James joined in, because we're all naughty children, really. Ooh ah ting tang, walla walla bing bang. She even got her in on it. By the gods. Well, it's Facebook and we're all being silly. She says, I listen to the song at work when I need my spirits lifted. Fair enough, Chrissy. I hear you, sister. And then he wrote, the Schnappi, das kleine Krokodil. Our breakdowns are rather amusing. Jared's breakdowns are equally as amusing as mine. Like, I love it when we have breakdowns. Not so much when we have breakups of our friendship, but breakdowns can be rather delightful. The Schnappi song. Oh dear God. He knows how to trigger me by always bringing in the German aspect into things, right? So I wrote back, stop triggering me, Jared. Achtung, baby. I rebuke that spirit, meaning my mother, implying that he was being soul-ridden by my mother. He probably was. I've seen her jump into my daughter. It's terrifying. She can go from being perfectly civil and lovely. Her face starts changing. Bear in mind we all look like my mother, but you can see the change in the affect. It's fucking terrifying. And then she'll start mouthing all these really vicious, nasty things. And it's like a shift. Last time she did it, she had been triggering me for a while. So I sat back and I thought, what's actually going on here? And I watched her shift, right? It was chilling. I said, you need a fucking exorcism. I said, Gisela, get the fuck out of my daughter right now. I rebuke you. Get thee to the 7th echelon of hell where you belong. Stay out of my daughter. And you know what the weirdest thing happened? Crystal shifted back into full her own beingness and looked at me and just carried on talking as if she was not conscious that something dark had just ridden on her, and just became all sweet and pleasant again. And I looked at her and said, do you realise what just happened? She said, no, Mum. I said, you were taken over by your grandmother. I watched it. I rebuked her to the 7th echelon of hell. Oh, don't be silly, Mummy. She went a bit pale though because she knew I was telling the truth. It's fucking frightening. Anyway, Mum must have got a lot more hold over her than she should have, because now our relationship has been over for the past 12 months. So the Umi got her in the end. alas and alack. She's meant to be a shaman. I said, you've got to increase your protections if you can let spirits jump on you that easily, especially evil ones like your own grandmother, for the love of all the gods. Anyway, but they like to stir me up about the German thing, because, my mother being German and particularly evil is, that's a very, very big trigger for me, actually. Jared then posted another song, Fast Food Rockers, Pizza Hut lyrics. Oh, that's the one Crystal and Jasmine used to come back from Beitar, the Jewish youth group, singing, a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Hut. What is it? KFC and Hungry Jacks, and went, you've just been on a kosher camp. Why are you singing this? We need pizza now, Mummy. Oh, they were funny. They were funny kids. They were all funny kids, all of them. It's delightful. So I responded, now I'm a hungry mama tea. Oh my goddess. Anyway, it stopped at that. They can't handle a hungry mama tea, just saying. I arrived at Lynn's yesterday. And when I met her at the to get my jewellery out of the shop. And she just looked at me. Not a word was spoken. I was like, oh, we'd said hello, She just gave me this strange look. I went, what's up, Lynn? She says, you're hungry. We're going to eat right now. And I went, I am actually hungry. How did you know? She said, I can see it in your face. I must look like some kind of wild animal when I'm hungry. And I went, but how do you know? She goes, because I've been friends with you for 36 years. I know all your facial expressions. I was like, man, that's a bit disturbing that I look like a wild berserker Viking, hungry wild animal about to go on a raid. Anyway, we went, I bought a meal. We had, I had chicken katsu. We sat and we ate it. It wasn't as nice as the one at Mr. Curry in Garden City, but it was okay. It was okay, but somehow not quite as nice. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I fed, and then I was calmer and more satisfied, and then Lynn felt happier. She goes, I'm a wonderful mother to you, Tanya. I know how to look after you. So I kissed her cheek and I said, you're the best mummy anyone ever had, and I'm very blessed to have you. And she's the only person on God's earth that I let be a mummy to me, because I have trauma issues from my very bad parenting. But she's earned that right and privilege because she doesn't abuse it. That's why she's the best mummy I ever had. Anyway, these are my relationships with people. It's a bit astonishing at times. 10th of September 2017, 11:09 a.m, awake, out of bed. My body feels like a decrepit, rusting old hunk of a defective 1965 Mustang. Mustang Quay, am I right? That name was gifted to me by an Ojibwa Maduan. He said, you're a Mustang Quay. What's that? A wild horsewoman. You push and push and push and push, even when you're half fucking dead. You keep pushing. He said, I've never seen anything like it, he said. It's my life force, it's my chi. He said, you're very powerful, Tanya. Very powerful. So all my psychic friends on Power Talk, including him, who were healers, were always at me. You've got to rest, Tanya. You've got to rest. I said, I lay down for 20 hours a day for years. I'm done resting. No, you need to rest. And they would fuss over me. Have you drunk water today, Tanya? Have you rested? And they all used to fuss on me. I'd be like, you're not my mother, and I'm in charge of this meat sack. And I know you mean well, but stop nagging me. And they'd get really upset because they meant well. They did. I'll be like, no, you have to, you can't control the Tanya. The worst thing anyone can possibly do is control me or have me aware that I'm being controlled. I don't like being manipulated either, though. If I feel that someone's being controlling, my friend Scott and Alter Egos, when we were at the Koala Tavern, I don't know what happened between us that night. It was odd. We were hamming up as we always do and bouncing off each other's energy, as we always do. Been doing that for many years, you know, when I dance in front of the band. And we love each other. We're great friends, you know. In that context of that container of being in the clubs, we don't see each other outside of that, so don't get any wrong ideas, people of Earth. So anyway, I'm upset about that in a way, as you can tell why I closed my eyes and did a little shake, but you know, that's the rules of that friendship. So if I want to sustain it, it has to stay in that safe container, and I'm okay with that. But anyway, but something very magical and unusual happened to us that night at the Koala Tavern. Maybe we were both soul-ridden by some ancestors. I don't know what that was. Anyway, there were witnesses, because there was an audience behind me that all laughed, and Paulie and Luke banging on the drum, they laughed too. Like, we have great fun together, we really do. I love you so much, all of you. But we had such great fun, and they let me get mischievous from time to time, because it's, you know, it's great comedy. So anyway, at one point, I think Scott was asking, what do you want, as in he wanted me to request a song. But he knows what my favourite songs are. Number 1 is Zombie. Number 2 is Iris from the Goo Goo Dolls. Number 3, or sometimes number 2 or number 1, depending on my mood, is Seven Nation Army, you know. Then I really like U2 With or Without You, but it's a bit sappy, so I don't usually request that. Oh, I have many favourite songs that I really love, but those 3, the top 3. Then the other one is Chop Suey, about suicide, because I lived that nightmare and dream too, that survived it. Then my other very big favourite is Come As You Are, Nirvana. Then the other one is, Metallica, Into the Night. There's a whole, you know, you can pick any. There's a whole lot of favourite. I mean, it's hard to go wrong. Most songs are my favourites, but those are my particular top 10, right? So he's yelling out to me, "What do you want, Tanya?" Like this. And all these people, and I'm dancing wildly, you know, doing my wild, crazy dancing. And I yelled back, "You know what I want, baby." And I realised it sounded sexual, but it was too late. It's come out of my mouth, you know. Guilty as charged, babies. So anyway, and there wasn't a huge crowd that night, probably about 20 people, but the whole 20 people behind us, including the men, all burst out laughing. And I was like, oh, am I being played for a fool here? Should I be offended? But I thought, fuck it. He asked, I told him, just keep dancing. So off we went, even wilder, and we had the best time, we really did. And then he did play, all 3 of them did play Iris. Well, when they played Iris, I couldn't look at him. I wouldn't look at him, because it's a deeply emotional song to me, because I once sang it to that dead shit motherfucker, empty vapoured fucking stalker in a way. He really was kind of, in a way, a stalker. I mean, I didn't take offence at it, because, you know, but the idiot that I used to keep running into at Crossroads, which is why I vote Papa Legba. It hasn't been a problem since. Thank you, Papa Legba. Guardian of the underworld and the Crossroads, am I right? You got to know. got to know who to invoke when you have situations like that. Anyway, so, but yeah, I once sang that song, Iris, to that idiot. Because, well, in those days, even though I knew he was actually an idiot already, knew it, I was still, for some unknown reason, in love with him. So, anyway, so I can't, when Scott plays that song, I can't look at anyone because it's kind of like a razor blade in my chest to this day that I loved that person so much and only got grief from it. But anyway, it's a beautiful song, and there's a YouTube video of me singing it as I come out of Myala Forest, trying to sing it, but I couldn't remember the words. Oh, that was funny. But anyway, it's very deeply personal, meaningfully personal to me, as is the Katie Lang version of Hallelujah. So if you wanna grind my gears or get me all emotional, you play either of those songs and I'm like, I can't look at you, I have to look away, or I might cry. But anyway, they're kind of happy tears now because they're the tears of triumph and overcoming dead, defunct, empty loves that weren't good for me, you know. So if you play Iris to me, if a musician plays Iris to me, what I mean now, it's just fucking beautiful because I've overcome it. But anyway, it was just kind of, yeah, that was a weird night that night. I was in my full fucking power. And it was astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. I had the whole floor to myself because no one would dance with me. I don't know why that is. And I was wearing my leopard print, really long maxi dress with my black little under bust. And at one point I got down on the floor. I vaguely remember doing it. I was doing my full ecstatic dance as if I was an ecstatic dance, which looks weird in the pub and club scene because most people don't use the whole floor and don't manifest like that. They just stand there with their arms like this, okay, because they're drunk and also empty and vapid, a lot of them. Not all, but a lot. So I was actually leaning back watching the empty vapid ones. They came much later in the evening. By about the third set, they had to be drunk to join me on the dance floor. So for the first two sets, I had the whole dance floor to myself. I decided, well, I might as well own this space as I'm the only one here. So I got down and I did this big whirling dervish twirl. Maybe not as fast because, you know, I don't have wheels like I have on this chair. And I got lower and lower and I was like being an eagle and it was just fucking powerful and beautiful. But anyway, then they got cancelled, so I don't know if it's because of my crazy dance or what. I'll never know, will I? No one's going to tell me the truth. They don't want to hurt my feelings. Anyway, doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter in the sense that I was just dancing, living my best life, being joyous, and there was no malintent behind it. That's what I want to keep hammering home. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The funny thing is at the Brooklyn Standard, there's no dance space for me to act the clown like that, act Hayoka, act shamanic, because there's only just a small area. So the best I can do is at the end of the night, I sometimes, when they play Zombie, Juddy played Zombie for me, the last song of the night, you know, a couple of weekends before he went into semi-retirement, right? And it was beautiful. I just looked at him and blew kisses up to him. I love you, Juddy. He nodded. And Ness singing, she's smiling because I know that's my song, mine. You can play that for me at my funeral I'll come and I'll sit there and I'll be like, yeah, babies. So anyway, so they played it for me. It was really a kind of a gift to me. It was so beautiful. And I don't have a lot of room to move because I dance next to the big coffee table, big square coffee table. So, but what I did was I stood in the space between the chair and the table and I danced in a circle. And I went around in another circle. And I'm hoppity boppity. And that's the most wild I can do at the Brooklyn Standard. But yeah, at the Koala Tavern, it was cool because I had the whole floor, so I could do my whole sweeping down on the floor and sweeping all the evil off the ground and climbing back up and doing my weird things. And I had so much fun. You know, no matter what, I had fun. Together we had fun. We had a wonderful night that night. And I know I am loved in weird ways. Weird, unusual ways. And that too is my fate. So I just have to roll with that. And try not to sweat the small stuff. So I wrote, my skin cancer sites burnt out with a laser, are sore and angry, probably from overdoing the frenetic dancing. 2 nights, awesome. But my flesh says no, while my mind still says, let's go. My first thought this morning upon awakening was that I feel like I have turned a corner. Nice little fantasy, but we shall see. 2017, baby. I sure as shit turned a corner too. I did. 2017 was a very creative, emanating year for me. I came into my own being, came back to life almost. It was amazing, really amazing. Charlie is hanging off my t-shirt, kissing me constantly. Oh, Charlie. He loves his mama tea. It's a glorious day. If I had the cash, I would drive to Byron right now. But I'm still exhausted anyway. So it is well that I rest my 52-year-old shell-shocked, shellacked skin and muscles and dream a while. I've had a beautiful weekend so far with lots of loving, nurturing support from my true and beautiful friends. I love you. Yes, I do. Here's a photo of me looking happy with Charlie. Literally, let me just scroll up, scroll back down, literally hanging off my chest. I was going through an old diary, never a safe thing for me to do. I get very triggered by my diaries. Even presenting these videos is kind of triggering for me at times. Why can't that close down? Bloody hell. Can't read it with that thing on there. Oh, it's gone now. I was going through an old diary and some haphazard notes and came upon a book recommendation from my former much beloved friend Heather Abramson. That's a seeping wound without end too. Anyway, the book title is The Hare with Amber Eyes. So I bought a copy from Book Depository. Like she'd recommended it probably 10 years prior. Anyway, it was an okay story, a bit of a bloody laborious read, but it was an okay story. I have begun reading it and the writing is so sublime. ironically, one of the characters, this is why she wanted me to read it, because the synchronicities, button pushing a bit. Oh well, little do they know. Far more intelligent than those motherfuckers ever gave me credit for, by the way. So their little button pushing just blows back on them. Seriously. Anyway, ironically, one of the characters is called Gisela. Haunted much? But I'm yet to find out what she is like. Gisela is not a very common German name, so the irony is not lost on me. Gisela actually means gazelle, and in French it's pronounced Giselle. It was supposed to be my third name, but my father forgot to put it on the birth certificate and spelled my first name wrong with an I instead of a Y. So I had to change that back to my normal spelling by deed poll. I didn't discover that till I went to university and had to produce my birth certificate. It's ridiculous. It's the idiots I was raised by. It's ridiculous. But anyway, there is that. Mustn't let that grind my gears. The book is about a Jewish man living in Japan and his exquisite Netsuke collection. Netsuke are tiny carvings made from wood and ivory, and they're so exquisite. I wouldn't mind starting a collection of them too. Of course, they're very expensive. Like, hello, he was a wealthy man. So, but I could maybe buy one, just one. Heather probably recommended the book as she knew I like collecting things and have a few shadow boxes full of random miniature stuff. Nothing of any real value, but just my quirky sense of holding on to trinkets from my past. I think if I had money, a Netsuke collection would have adorned my antique printer's block rather delightfully. Do you want to see one of my collections while we're here, people of Earth? I have to put a light on, it's a bit dark in my... I mean, they're not worth any great deal, you know. But random little things that spark joy, because why not? That one was sent by Auntie Lottie, and where is he? The Schornstein Fager, the chimney sweep, was sent by her too. Made out of leather. And the little teddy bear and the little... Oh, some of them are quite lovely. You know, just silly little things that at the end of the day aren't worth a lot of money, but just cute, you know. My friend Lynn bought me these Viking warriors for me, made out of pewter, at the Abbey Museum. It was very sweet of her. And I bought that one year, but he's lost his colours. The scarab beetle. He used to be really bright green. It's a shame he lost his colour. Jared bought me those little elephants. And what else have we got here? The little Hanukkah teddy bear. Mum bought me this in Venice. It's a gondola, but I had to lie it upright because there was nowhere else to put them. And these beautiful mosaic brooches and the antique little... Anyway, there's some lovely little things which I take great delight in. Here's my mother's Cloisonne collection, which I also take delight in, and then little Russian man couple riding on a wolf that I love. Absolutely love it. I bought that up at Montville. He blows smoke. He smokes when you put the incense in. And my daughter made me this little incense holder. So yeah, I have lots of schmonzes and things that spark joy, but you know, ultimately some people would consider clutter or rubbish. But anyway, I've got more than that, but I'm not going to show you my other little bits and pieces because they've no real consequence. Just Mama T being Mama T. But yes, I love that printer's block. I really do. Where was I? Here we go. Carry on. A real Nitsuki collection in that printer's block would be pretty awesome though. Whether they'd even fit though, because they might be wider. Don't know. Anyway, one day I'll keep an eye out for something like that. What do you want, Charlie? Oh, you want scratches? Did you freak out that Mummy left you all alone here? And I was in the other room, in the hallway, showing off my bits and bobs. Anyway, sometimes I miss my friend, but I can't really miss the betrayals and the devaluation I endured though. Some people leave indelible marks on your heart, but the soul knows better. Love remains, albeit charred and calcified, long after the people who sought out my light, then ultimately quashed it, have sauntered on their way. She basically ended our friendship saying, I don't like your lifestyle. What? That I'm not an Orthodox Jew or even much of a practicing Reformed Jew. So based on that, she abandoned and rejected me. Hypocrite much? I hate people like that. But anyway, doesn't matter. I'm still a Jew in my heart and soul, so her judgments are of no consequence. In the early hours of this morning, in full-blown berserker revelry, my exhausted but driven body was swaying sinuously to the thromping beat of the DJ. My lifestyle that Heather doesn't approve of. Oh, she doesn't understand the least thing about the power of music to heal the human body, or my heart and my soul, or she would never have done that to me. Amongst other things she did, but never mind, we won't go on about that. It's a long time dead friendship and I've grieved and I'm over it. That's why I can talk about it without being upset. It just is what it is. Here comes the storm that I was expecting this morning. It's probably why my heart's racing and I'm feeling really innervated. I love storms. Anyway, my body was swaying sinuously to the thromping beat of the DJ, who rather weirdly was mixing one good song followed by weird house songs, which I detest, but he was spinning them alternately, so I considered that reasonable enough, because they know if they played house all night, I'd leave, just walk out. I don't mind a few songs here and there, but all night, it actually gives me some kind of breakdown. It's not good for me. I don't know why. Other people love it, but I think it's a constant boof, 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 boof. I call it cocaine music. You know, you have to be on some substance to handle it all night long. You really do. Not that I've ever taken cocaine, don't get me wrong, but it's that constant driving. It's awful. Anyway, moments of utter boredom came over me from the house music, complexly blended with adrenaline rush and alcohol-fueled, turbocharged, superhuman delights, because I had to drink more to cope with the shitty music, by the way. Just not good. You shouldn't need to get drunk to cope with the shit. It should be pleasurable. You should be able to enjoy an entire night without having any need of alcohol at all. If the music is good, it should bring you up to peaks, bring you down to troughs, and bring you up and then down, and you can actually get a natural high, as I used to experience at ecstatic dance in 5 rhythms, just from the way they would balance out the music alone, which they skillfully do, which is why they charge a lot of money for you to go to those spaces. But, you know, they're very, very good at getting you to surf all your emotions. You don't need any drugs or any alcohol. Just the music as therapy, people of Earth. My friend Len had randomly and unexpectedly gifted me 3 drinks, which was a lot. That was unusual for him to give me that many. And a much desired and needed glass full of peanuts and soy nibbles, which he would have got up at the High Rollers. Oh my God, what bliss. Because I get hungry when I dance all night too. I get really hungry. I can get a bit cray-cray, as Lynn noticed yesterday. I had actually stated earlier to my beautiful Karen that I craved something salty. Hours later, the gods heard my prayer. Wow, he's a lovely man, Len. He was so intimidated by me though. Well, I did once hoist him up over my shoulder to rub some nasty man that had been harassing him. So, yeah, when you emasculate a man, it's a bit hard for them to fall in love with you afterwards. Oops! And yet I keep doing it. I wonder why. But no, he was a lovely friend to me. He really was. Anyway, in the way of weirdness and random acts of sublime generosity and kindness, thanks for the drink, Morris, which means I had 4 drinks that night, I paced myself and thoroughly enjoyed it. A rather unusual thing happened. I espied in the suddenly surging crowd. The place exploded with revellers at 3 a.m. Don't know where they all came from. A young man with the most glorious, long, curly, brown hair that fell down his back, and a rather attractive face. I've got a fetish for men with great hair. I love dreadlocks. I love curly hair. I love really thick, lustrous, long hair on a man. I'm weird like that. I can get turned on just by a wig, as Jared describes it. He thinks I'm a bit nutty. Of course it is a bit nuts. And I don't know why I developed that fetish. I really don't. But I don't like baldness on men. I realise some men can't help it. But baldness is a cringe factor to me. I'll just go. And, you know, if they're a nice man, of course, I'll still be friends with them, you know, because they can't help being bald. But I got harassed by this evil, awful, I spoke about it in my video yesterday, bald man. He was repulsive. Not just because he was bald, but because he had a repulsive energy and repulsive person. He was repulsive in I told him, you repulse me. He still harassed me. Still kept going. If someone came up, you know, if someone said to me, I find you repulsive, Tanya, I'd never go near them or speak to them again. I'd be like, well, they clearly find me disgusting, and I'd actually momentarily have hurt feelings over it. I'd never bother them again. But this idiot he was a rapist in every sense of the word. Would just not take no for an answer. Would just keep annoying me and annoying me and annoying me. Anyway, partly because of him, I developed a pet hate for bald men. Sad but true. But anyway, this gorgeous young man with the most glorious hair was there in the surging crowd. He looked over at me. And I shot him a grin, but kept dancing, but quietly observed his movements. The boy had the rhythm and joie de vivre of a soulmate. I'm still laughing about that one. So, jocular and mischievous, I yelled out, "Well, looky there. That man got all the moves, baby." He grinned back, danced around my vicinity, then suddenly bounced over to me like a spring lamb, and without any warning or malicious intent, threw his arms around me in a strong, affirmative, and soul-loving hug. I, in turn, this is unusual, people, threw my arms around him. It was unexpectedly mutual, like we had known each other for years. And we stood there on my spot, hugging for about 10 seconds. I count hugs. I'm weird like that. I'm careful how much oxytocin I give out for love bonding people, because I have had trauma bonds from love bonds. Just saying. Have to be careful how long you embrace a man. Girls, sisters of Estros, can be misinterpreted. Just saying. Anyway, I was consciously aware that my breasts were squeezed tight against his chest, and I started to retreat a little into myself. But we held the embrace for a few more seconds, longer, before he pulled away from me and leapt back into the crowd with a gleeful assurance and a hubris. He was a lovely lad. That moment's been preserved for eternity, because he was a lovely lad. Getting some weird smell of chemicals coming in from outside, and I don't know why. It smells kind of like ammonia. Yuck. It's making me cough too. Look at the storm clouds, my beautiful ones. Mama T's kind of horny now. Kinda, not too badly, but you know what I mean. I can feel it building and building and building and building. I laughed to myself, not at my, horniness, but at the young man who was so delightful. I laughed to myself. How wonderful. I kept dancing, but watched who he bounded over to. Yes, Charlie. And sure enough, he went right up to another devil-may-care dude with long, very straight grey hair. Nice looking. Ah, yes, I thought. I had noticed him a few weeks ago. So it was kind of a prank the two had cooked up, am I right? Didn't expect me to hug him back. Probably thought I'd tell him to fuck off, which is what I usually do. Did not expect to receive a 10-second hug from the Tanya, am I right? Babies. It must have been a dare. Never mind, as the handsome silver fox and his brown-haired brother glanced over at me, I shot them a grin of acknowledgement. It's like, I'm on to you, boys. I wonder how much that cost them. getting that hug that he didn't expect he'd receive. Sometimes you've got to just out trickster the tricksters. Just play them at their own game, babies. The best hug from a stranger I've had in a very long time. Very comforting and warm and non-threatening. Nice little display of oxytocin bonding. See, I'd even written about it. So someone, I'm not sure which trickster god parlayed that engagement, has egg on their face. Love is unconditional. Baby got all the moves, and Big Brother is watching, and Mama T is triumphantly, deliciously aware and content. My friend Ralph O'Connor wrote, "Hey Tanya, you were obviously on a high at the dance last night. Oxytocin's pretty good stuff. Yes, it is when you can get it, babies." What I also liked about your amazing gift for English expression was the reference to the berserker. Had never known the origin of that word until I happened upon an exhibition of a few of the famous Lewis, Western Isles, Scotland, chessmen. I guess you know all about them and also about the berserker, but for others who might be interested, berserkers or berserks were champion Norse warriors who were primarily reported in Icelandic literature to have fought in a trance-like fury, a characteristic which later gave rise to the English word berserk. These champions would often go into mail without mail coats, naked from the waist up. Berserkers are attested to in numerous Old Norse sources, as were the Ulfedna wolf coats. And he shared the link of the Lewis chessmen, which I will have to look at later because I've forgotten about what the Lewis chessmen were about, so it's worth another look. The link is from, if you want to look it up yourselves, thebritishmuseum.org. Lewis chessman. Interesting. I continue writing in 2017. All the ants are all on the rise because of the impending storm, I guess, that they can feel the change in energy too. I'm very sleepy today. I think he frets or doesn't sleep when... he is very sleepy today. I think he frets or doesn't sleep when I'm out on the weekends. My beautiful boy, my Beauregard, my angel face. Oh, look, he was exhausted. All that worrying about his mama being out all weekend. Oh, my darling, my baby, my angel, my sweet boy. I miss you so much. What can we do, people of Earth? I hope I find a human man who loves me as much, if not more, than my pets have loved me. I don't want a man who's a pet, don't get me wrong. I need an equal, a king to my queen. But you know what I mean, whose love is real and powerful and honouring and romantic and passionate and loyal and faithful and with eyes only for me. That's my spell, people. I keep repeating it over and over, but in a way it is a kind of a spell. But, well, we need to manifest it, don't we? How am I going to find a man who loves me that much? who's available to be with me and chooses me from his own heart, mind, body, spirit. Soul belongs to God, but a soulmate too. How am I going to find one like that, my babies? Sorry, Charlie, I didn't mean to knock you off your perch. But ants. I don't really want ants in my printer, Charlie. It's not a good thing. By the God, so many ants. I've got to find where the nest is, where they're coming in from. It's driving me a bit bonkers. Right, here we go. Power just went off. Must have been a storm that night too. Bobo got a fright, so now I'm sitting in the dark, lol. My friend Karina wrote, wow, wonder why? And I replied, I just lit candles and presto, power came back on. Good timing. Watching disjointed, hilarious. Kind of hungry now. I'm getting antsy because I'm quite hungry. 11:38. To finish this video, and I have to make something to eat. Hungry Tanyas are very difficult to deal with, even for me, living in my own body, mind and spirit. I made egg drop soup for dinner from a recipe on Facebook. Tastes delicious. Feeling almost domesticated. Yes, I might go and buy a cooked chicken and make some more chicken and noodle and sweet corn soup. I really like that. It's quite filling too. September 10th, 2016. Last night my glorious bed broke. The canopy fell down. I had to sleep in the spare bed. Lucky I have a spare bed, indeed. Oh, look, this was a tragedy. I was so distressed. Look at my beautiful bed. Fuck. Anyway, I had trouble finding someone that would help me put it back together. In the end, Jared did it very reluctantly because he doesn't like to be in my bedroom and he doesn't like to be, do anything carpentry related. So he was a bit fucking resentful, quite frankly, but I had no choice. I can't do it on my own, Jared, and I can't afford to pay for a carpenter. Please help me. And he did. We worked out what the problem was. There was a bolt that was just held on by paper, or they hadn't bolted it, some weird shit. And, I joked with Jared that lucky I hadn't had sex in years because the bed would have crashed down over me and my partner. It would have been really dangerous and embarrassing. We laughed. We laughed about that for a long, long time, how my bed can fall apart without any activity even happening in it, really, apart from my usual threshing and fighting demons in my sleep. But, apart from that, there was no argy-bargying that broke that bed, just saying. My friend Jana Livitz wrote, oi, and I wrote, crying, taking all the necklaces and toys, because I had this all kind of decorations all over it, and schmonzes off is epic. But one good thing, I'm forced to confront my Quentin Crispian existence. Dust. It doesn't get worse after 6 months. That was a quote from Quentin Crisp. But the weight of it will break your bed. Ah. Metaphor for my life. My disintegration of 4 years of glorious freedom, glorious celebration of freedom from my mother, and who will dispute because I bought the bed with my small inheritance. The bed did not break from 4 years of sex either, as I have been celibate again, yawn, for almost 2 years. Oh dear goddess, try 10 now. Well, we're into the 10th year, so it is true. Damn it, that bed was supposed to last me at least 20 years. Everything is temporary. an illusion. My personal hologram is glitching. Also carnage toll. Since my bed came down, the wooden canopy, Beauregard has chewed the tail off my old fox stole, which was very naughty Beauregard. Devastating. Also, several necklaces broke by the falling canopy. He is now enough to break me down, chewing one of my socks to pieces as I lay here on my spare bed with clean washing on it, writing about my defunct existence. Beauregard is a shit. Sue! He had shit Sue in him. He was just more of a Jack shit than a shit Sue though, because he was Jack Russell as well. But he was my Jack shit, and I loved him. There'll never be another dog like Beauregard. Never, 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 ever. I need more bones, ran out, so he is punishing me with his oral fixated jaws. The fucker. He also attempted to rape Penny today. I shouldn't laugh, that's not funny. My poor cat. My poor cat. It's not funny though. Rape is never funny, especially if you're a cat. Penny is my cat. Bobo is not species specific. I am melting. While I whine about my first world but second world once removed by poverty and trauma issues, a baby was born, someone died, and the world keeps turning on a dime. It's a bed. It is a symbol. Get over myself. I was that upset about losing my beautiful bed. Oh no, wrote Tarina. I hope it can be fixed. And my handsome friend Ephraim Pardo wrote, you are now breaking bed. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Ha, ha, ha. Ay caramba, you Mexican shit. What do you know about breaking beds since you and I were never amores? To you, my friend Ephraim. It was a long time friend. I don't know why he went weird, started pushing all my buttons all the time about poverty and trauma and despair. It's his own darkness. I needed a break from that. Maybe I'll refriend him one day. I'll have to think about it. He's got a baby and he's married and, you know, we were just only ever just friends. I had hoped that one day I would go to visit him in Mexico. But that never happened, did it? I wanted to buy a Mexican dress, you know, all the beautiful embroidered ones. I bought one here. The embroideries on it are nice, but it's still not as good as my original Mexican dress that I was gifted when I was 16. So I want to go to Mexico and get myself a real embroidered Mexican dress, is what I'm saying. And I was going to visit Ephraim and his wife and little son, but cara mia, no money, no money. What can I say? Ephraim, I reply, me being all square and prudish. I bought this bed with my inheritance 4 years ago. I have been celibate for 2 years. He hates it when I remind him how long I've been celibate. It grinds his gears. I don't know why. We were never lovers. Why does that grind his gears? What I am not doing or doing with my punani, my puta. Why does that worry him so much? Curious minds want to know. Baby, baby, baby. Well, he's Mexican. They're a passionate people. Remember that, always and forever. Even when they play their sadistic little mind games, they're a passionate people. If I wanted to be nasty and shallow and cruel, I can play back even harder, baby. Because I too am passionate, Polish, German, Jewish, witch. Never fuck with the Tanya. And if you bring out my Viking ancestry from my Irish and Scottish side, that's the kill switch, people of Earth. Oh, I should have done that. I might just die. But I'm back in the room. That did kind of hurt though. Who would have thought that breathing in deeply can hurt my lungs? Everything hurts my lungs. Anyway. When I was chasing the dream of finding a man for the first 2 years of owning that bed, when I went a little wild after the will dispute ended, yes I did, I can honestly say there were not many encounters. So after a long, lonely 2 years, that bed should have been in mint condition, laughing my ass off. Oh well, I loved it and looked glamorous in my celibacy, which is all that matters, looking glamorous and keeping myself pristine for the right man, laughing my ass off. I know, psychedelic dreamer dreams big. How big? How long is a piece of string, mi amores? But I got a little jaded and bitter after the inability to land the man I adore, past tense, adored. So I hung up my boots for a long, I literally did, they were hanging up in the tree. When they broke apart, I hung them in the tree as an artistic representation of my love life. Oh! So I hung up my boots for a long while till I could rebuild a new version of the Tanya, and here she is, babies. Awesome, but be afraid, be very afraid. I don't suffer fools at all. What do you want? You know what I want, baby. Ah, the poor man. He loved every minute of it. But the poor amigo. Amigo. Arriba, andale. I saved my love and my passion for a man who gets me. A man has not been born yet that completely gets. Oh, well, maybe my psychiatrist, but he's gay and he's my psychiatrist, so he's off the menu. Off the menu, my darlings. But you have to laugh. It's delightful. It is. It's delightful. Oh, we stir each other up sometimes too. It's good therapy. Not in a sexual way, don't misunderstand. But the wind-ups can be a bit delightful. Like when he told me in my therapy session recently that I'm erotic. I got all shy. I was fumbling with my knee. I had little strings here. I started fumbling with my knee. I thought I heard the gate go, but no, there's no one there. Well, that was odd, wasn't it, Joe? Must be someone at their gate near me. Yes, I got told I was erotic. Me, little old me, bumbling around with my short, fat hobbit ass. Dear goddess. Okay, maybe sometimes I'm a little bit erotic, but I mean, anyway. We won't fight about that because it's partially true. I don't know why I wrote David. I think I meant to write damn it. I was walking past it, meaning my bed that fell apart, to grab my rings as I was getting ready to go out last night. It fell right beside me. I was lucky it didn't land on my head or shoulder and landed on the mattress. Could have cracked my head open. It was actually quite dangerous. Also lucky it didn't break my Tiffany lamp that I bought from Diana Burton, my Israeli friend, former friend who happens to be Israeli. She was a passionate woman, I'll tell you that much. Got a little bit too intense even for me. But we were good friends for a while there, so, you know, I understand. I do. People get obsessed with me sometimes. I have no idea why. I haven't done anything. Just show up. It's odd. It's odd. She once said to me, Deanna Burton said to me one time, when I was freshly divorced and I was fantasising about starting a feminist kind of commune where we'd all have, I wanted to buy, my dream was, me who has no money, psychedelic dreamer, my dream was I wanted to buy, you know, acreage, like maybe 10, 20 acres, and start a community, a commune for women and children who've escaped domestic violence situations and or other childhood sexual abuse traumas like mine, you know, and I wanted to build a community where we'd all have our own individual homes, so we had our own space and we could shut the door and shut everyone out if we were in that headspace, but where we all lived on the same land, like a little miniature tribe. And I was going to have like a medical centre there, and a padded room where you could just go, and like a soundproof padded room where you could just go and primal scream until you pass out, because I found that very healing and cathartic, even though it almost got me put in the psych ward because people are cunts, but you know, there is that. So that's why I said you need a space where you can just go and just emote and let out all the shock and horror and trauma, but in a safe space, right? With a padded room with cushions and cushioned wall. You could throw yourself into it. You could do your wild shamanic dance. You could whirl and twirl and throw yourself around to your heart's, however your soul manifested it, to your heart, without harming yourself, causing yourself any injuries, without causing fear or loathing or misunderstanding in others, like the cunts that tried to put me in a psych ward for primal screaming back in the day. And so you could just let it all out, all that ancient grief and horror, right? And then when you came out, my plan was that there would be a psychologist or a nurse or a social worker or someone trained in trauma to help you when you came out of the panic room, to go and have a shower and wash all the sweat and tears and negative energy off of you, and then sit with maybe a nice glass of wine, or if you don't drink, or if you have a bad relationship to alcohol, you know, a nice mocktail or nice cup of tea, maybe a Valium because you've worked it through, but you need to calm the fuck down, and then just sit with you and then verbally and emotionally process, okay, what just happened, how far in that what peaks did you reach, did you get it all out, do you need to go back in again in a week's time, and just work it through, you know, layer by layer, shedding the old onion layers of ancient griefs and traumas that many are not even yours. You're still carrying your race DNA from your ancestors and your progenitors, and am I right? Especially me in my case, having family that survived World War II in Germany. So that was the plan. And then I was going to have that, and then I was going to have like a communal kitchen where everyone could sort of cook together and eat together and have that feeling of connection and family, and help the women like me who aren't fond of cooking to motivate us to cook and learn how to be better cooks and nourish ourselves and our children and our friends and family. And look, it was a really wonderful idea, and I hope someone is doing it or has done it, because that was my dream. And then I said we'd have, you know, being Jewish, I said we'd have a chapel of some kind, because where people could go and pray and non-denominational, because I wouldn't have made it just for Jewish women, only to belong to this commune. It would be anyone, open to anyone who was needing to literally fucking escape and rebuild their life from the ground zero. And yes, I had this wonderful dream. Anyway, I mentioned it to Deanna, who at that time was still married to her husband. She just looked at me in absolute awe and she said, I'd love that. I'll follow you anywhere. You build it and we will come, Tanya. We'll follow you to the ends of the earth. I just looked at her and said, but you're happily married, Deanna. She said to me, am I? Am I really? I had no idea. I said, look, I'm not trying to fuel fantasies of you having an escape plan and upending your entire life and your marriage. I just wish I had something like that for myself when my marriage ended. Instead of being fucking brutalised and strangled, I would have had a support system, somewhere safe to go, and someone to help me with basic life skills to get me back up on my feet again. And, it would have been a beautiful thing. She says, I think it's a beautiful thing. I hope you manifest it one day. So where am I going to get money for 10 or 20 acres? And how would we afford to build all the little houses for each, woman and her children? Where would that money come from, Deanna? It's a dream I can never make reality. Anyway, that week, she must have spoken about it to other people in our shul, in our temple, because that week I had 3 other women say to me, Tanya, wherever you go, whatever you do with this plan that you have to build this community, she, as in each woman, said to me, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. And they'd look at me like I was some kind of fucking guru. And I went, no, you don't understand. I'm not wanting to start some religious cult. It's not a religious thing. It's just a psychosocial safety network that I want for women and children leaving brutalised, marriages. So I had 3 or 4 of them come to me. I'll follow you anywhere. Take us with you. We'll go anywhere. And they were looking at me like this. Their eyes were literally swirling. I was like, this is getting fucking weird now. They were treating me like I was some spiritual leader or guru. No, that's not what I wanted from that dream. I could be a wonderful guru because I'm a wonderful leader, actually. But I don't want that. I don't want people following me everywhere. And I want you to be self-determined people. I want you to own your own inner god or goddess, your own inner light, your own power. I want you to be strong and brave and, if necessary, fucking fierce. But most of all, the most precious of all, I want you and me to be free. And that if we fall in love ever again with another mortal, that they feel free to love us in freedom and not crush our spirit or destroy our dreams or ultimately rape and kill us. It's not what I want from life, really. And I want you all to know that, to be strong. We need to survive this current epoch still. So it's a great pity that I wasn't born wealthy and that all my trappings of wealth were divested of me, because I would have built that community. And I probably would have built another one for broken men to live in and be supported and nurtured in too. Because men get broken too, people of Earth. Badly broken. So broken that they become monsters. Just saying. I don't want anyone around me completely, utterly broken. No one deserves that. No one. No one. Anyway, on we go with my reading. We're here in 2016 when I wrote that. Stirring up my friend Ephraim, stirring me up about my broken bed, so I stirred him right back, babies. I give as good as I get. A high intellect, powerful emotional intelligence. It's not wise to fuck with the Tanya. Play games with my heart and mind. Don't do it, because you're wasting your time and my precious time. And I'm running out of breath. My lungs literally supposed to be healthy. I call bullshit on that one. All I have to do is suck air in and have a coughing spasm. Anyway, it doesn't matter now, does it? 59 years and still going. Almost 59 years and 5 months. Yes, I count the months like a child, because every month and every year is a testament to my spirit and my power to survive everything, everything, everything. It's astonishing is what it is, which even my friend Diana recognised back then when I was just freshly left my marriage at 29 going on 30. I'll follow you anywhere, she said. But then she got a little bit too obsessive, so I had to cut ties. I'm sorry about that, Diana, but it wasn't healthy. I can't deal with that level of unhealthiness, my darlings. Here he lies, the great god of caninism, having devoured my fox, stole a sock, then attempted to chew on my top sheet. Well, he was still a puppy at the time. For which I finally snapped and smacked him one, which I didn't like smacking him. Now he lies peaceful and resplendent, his jaws finally immobile, while I rock and gnash my own teeth in semi-psychotic despair. Look at that little angel face. Butter wouldn't melt in its mouth. Oh, my beautiful boy. Kellyanne wrote, yes, he is a god by the look of him, lol. Lynn wrote, grr, your stole? Grr. It was an antique, I don't really wear it out, but still. I know, right, I about had an apoplectic fit. Lucky it was only half its tail, but it's still fairly ruined. Michael Brecher wrote, perspective, and he's right about this too. How much joy, comfort, pleasure and company does the fox give you? And how much mischief, notwithstanding, does Bo give you? Wise words, Michael Brecher, wise words indeed. I wrote back, Michael, the fox stole is irreplaceable. I would never kill an animal, so I've collected some lovely ancient furs in my time. I do not buy modern, freshly killed furs. Beauregard brings me much joy, but he also brings me much frustration. Pooping on the floor, attacking puppies at the dog park, chewing my stuff. But he is a living embodiment of fur, and as you say, mischief, and a great whimsical sense of humour. So I forgive him his dogged idiosyncrasies and fetishes. Not sure Mushu will forgive him after the attempted unwarranted fornication the other day. And Mushu's a boy cat, so he really won't be all that forgiving at all. But anyway, we loved Beauregard, didn't we, Charlie? We loved Bobo. She's like, Mama, don't remind me. I made bread. It turned out great this time. I'm going to have to cut this short because it's just more of the same and no particularly great or important writings or messages from the Tanya's world to you. So maybe this one last spiritual bit. To all my beautiful, wild, strong, awesome friends, I want you to know that I love you. We are living in difficult times in a world driven by sex, violence, and money. I often feel lost and broken. It's okay. It's a moment in time. It passes just as quickly as the joyous emotions. We are on a journey together. You hold my hand and pull me from the depths by my hair at times. Sometimes I give you a boost up to the next level in the game of life. Sometimes we're just in a massive centrifugal machine floating out of control, opposite gravity. Whee! And other times we hit the wall at 100 miles an hour and slam dunk in a heap. So remember that everything is temporary and everything has its season and really will make sense in the end, and smile. You are loved and seen and blessed. That was 2014. And then in 2012, I take delivery of my new red metallic Chariot on Thursday Arvo. So amazing. My foot has been hurting from where I got septic arthritis, so having wheels will be a blessing. On Wednesday, my new mattress will be delivered. No more lying on a mattress that Case was dying on for 2 years. I think after 17 years, I deserve a fresh one. And on that note, I've got to go. Bye for now. Love you all. Have a beautiful day.